So now we are going to look into the example of polynomial regression. Now, say we are looking into the time it takes for an insurance firm to implement new insurance innovation. So how is the time being affected by the size of the insurance firm? But also we have to take into account the interaction between the size of the insurance firm and the type of the insurance firm. So first, let us look into how can we be able to define the interaction term, since we cannot actually enter it, or it will raise an error if we try to input an interaction term on the model statement. So this is polynomial regression. So let's say our data is going to be, since we are working with an insurance firm data set, I forgot the comma, right? So we have time, we have the size, we have the type, and let us, so now remember that we have to take into account the interaction of size and type, so that we can also see if it does affect the time it takes for an insurance firm to implement a new insurance innovation. So we can define this new variable, which is going to be size type, and we can define it, and we can say it's going to be size and type, and we are ready to input these observations. So what I did here is that I said the interaction, I want to look into whether it significantly affect our dependent variable, and I defined a new variable which is size type, and I said size type will simply just be size times type, right? So this is the interaction term. So if we can think of it of a polynomial regression, is that in a model statement we will not be able to enter this as in size times type. We have to define a new variable. So let me just quickly copy all the values. So now we have entered all the values, and we are ready to see how does this data looks like. And this is our data set. As we can see, it contains time, size, type, and this newly defined variable, which is the interaction of size and type. So now let us have a look into how can we carry the polynomial regression in SAS. So we simply just have this and our data set, which is insurance, and we have model statement. Remember, we are looking into our dependent variable, which is time, and size type, and size type. And let's run this. So just for demonstration purposes, if we were to say size times type on the model statement, and we try to run this, let us run this. So SAS will give us a syntax error. So this is an error that we are getting in SAS. So which is why we had to define a new variable, which is size type. and let us run that. And here we have the output. So first, let us look into the value of our F statistic, which is 45.49, and it is significant. So this model, it explains a significant variation in the data. And also looking into the value of R square, so which is 0.89, so which is quite high. So remember, very close to 1 is indicates a better fit. However, this term that we entered here is 0.9821. It has a p-value of 0.9821. So this indicates that this interaction term is not significant. So it is not statistically significant. So we can remove it into our analysis. So if let's remove this term and try to rerun the model. Perhaps we should just remove that variable and we rerun the model and we get this result. So later we will also observe, because in this case we have a variable that is categorical. So we'll also look, the following section will also look into logistic regression, which will take us through how can we do interpretations of categorical variables. In this case, we're just observing how can we actually be able to define a polynomial regression in SAS. However, if we were to interpret the interaction item, we will be making use of interaction plots. However, in this case, it turned out that the interaction is not significant, so we removed it from um, from from the fitted model and we rerun the model. So following, we are going to be learning about logistic regression, which will take us into how can we do interpretations when we have categorical variables.